Today I fucked up by asking my wife to show me her asshole. Just happened. Was joking around with my wife. She said my asshole was hers, so I retaliated by saying her asshole was mine, and I said show it to me. So she turned around and spread her cheeks, and I stooped down to look at it at eye level, and she ripped a huge fart. I stared directly at her butthole, shaking, and it looked like an earthquake. I have pretty good reflexes, so I managed to lean back quickly, which resulted in a slight dizzy spell, but I couldn't get away fast enough to avoid one whiff. It smelled so bad. We just had a steak dinner with asparagus, so yeah. She immediately yelled out I had no idea a fart was in there. Also, she's pregnant, so when she started laughing hysterically due to how fast I ran away, she started cramping and then proceeded to whine about it. Too long didn't read, asked wife to show butthole, and she farted in my face. Not gonna lie, was expecting tales of splatter. Still, I laughed. Thank you. You know, I never considered that possibility. I will never have my face at eye level with her butthole ever again. I told my wife to show me her asshole, so she handed me a mirror. What a fucking power move on her part. And that's how you get pink eye. Maybe my glasses will prevent that. She runs the show now, you were just dominated. Today I fucked up by watching Harry Potter. Insert joke about this not happening today, but was reminded of it . So a couple weeks ago I visited my girlfriend for a relaxing weekend. Her parents were not supposed to be there, but that's fine. The weekend is going great, and on the last day my girlfriend is feeling a bit tired and opts to watch a movie. Since she has turned me into a Harry Potter fan, we watch the next movie that I have not seen, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. We head into her room, turn the lights off, close the shades, grab some popcorn and get under some soft comfy blankets. Movie is really interesting. I haven't been a Potter fan for years, but I guess having a GF changes some things, ha ha ha. Now during, I think, when the old lady dressed in pink, who is the replacement dark arts teacher, starts adding all these dumb rules to Hogwarts, we get a little frisky. Now her parents are home, but her dad is outside in the pool while her mom is in another room watching TV at a fairly high volume. We get handsy, and after she finishes, she grinds my pepper. Now mind you, the movie is still going, and it got to the point where Dumbledore is either framed or being taken away by the Magic League. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the council that creates the rules/laws for the wizarding world. Back to cracking the pepper. She is really good at it, and I cannot help but let out moans, so I cover my mouth when it gets intense. When she knows I am about to finish, Dumbledore says, "You seem to be laboring under the delusion that I am going to," what was the phrase, "come quietly." I laughed so hard. She was confused about why I was laughing, and it took a bit of explaining, and by that time I wasn't hard anymore. The sexy moment was over thanks to my dumb humor. Too long didn't read, I laughed at what Dumbledore said and ended sexy times. Edit, to the few who think this is fake, and that one person thinking I'm a 13-year-old fangirl. Why would I waste my time to lie about this? And for that one person who thinks I'm a 13-year fangirl, I am a 21-year-old guy who would get a 15% on a Harry Potter pop quiz. Listening to you describe Dolores and the Ministry of Magic is bloody hilarious. Edit, typo. And I can't spell. A core memory. Congrats to anyone who can maintain an erection while watching Dolores Umbridge. I mean, the mewing cat plates in her office are enough to unman me for hours. LOL Christ, I imagine it's disappointing that the mood was ruined, but my god is it hilarious when things line up like that. Taken away by the Magic League. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the council that creates the rules/laws for the wizarding world. It's called Ministry of Magic. He was too busy grinding his pepper to remember the name. Today I fucked up by petting a dog during a meeting. Contrary to popular convention, this one happened not that long ago, specifically yesterday. Like many families during quarantine, my family added a new member in the last few months, in the form of a puppy. Also, like many families, I'm sure, we didn't quite think through what would happen when we all had to go back to work/school, as happened this week. Normally before this I would head to my office in the basement to do my work, Zoom calls, etc. And the kids would watch the puppy and make sure that he didn't do what puppies do best, namely turn the house into a giant pile of poop and chewed up paper. They were great with this, and the dog loved them for it. But, as was inevitable, they went back to school today, leaving my wife and I home with the puppy. My wife is the main breadwinner, and as such has priority when she needs kids and animals to be out of her hair, so I took the dog downstairs to the basement office, where I could keep an eye on him and make sure he didn't get into trouble. Dog obliged by spending most of his time trying to bite my feet, or sleeping. So my day's winding down, I had a final Zoom call with some colleagues, and the puppy was getting a little bit bored being downstairs. I didn't have time to take him back upstairs and play with him properly, so I settled for picking him up and setting him on my lap, where he accepted his fate and decided to go back to sleep. So I logged on to my Zoom call, and proceeded to make normal conversation, participating in discussions and talking about work stuff for 20 minutes or so, oblivious to the strange looks that I was getting from my, mostly female, colleagues. Finally, after asking a question and having to wait a strangely long time to get a reply, I decided to look at my video to see if maybe I had something on my face or in my teeth. And then I realized that, as one does when you have a dog in your lap, I had been absent-mindedly petting his back and scritching behind his ears. Except that nowhere on my video screen could you see that I had a dog in my lap. So for the previous 20 minutes, I had been absent-mindedly stroking what appeared to be my crotch while talking to my colleagues. Immediately turned the brightest shade of red I've ever seen on a human being, their words, not mine, and held up the dog to prove that I wasn't trying to get some extra mileage out of my work meetings. I'm bracing myself for an email from HR where there will no doubt be some explaining to do. Too long didn't read, absent-mindedly stroked the cute furry thing in my lap while on a work call, got called out. Edit, dog tax. Ha 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 ha, sorry but that's funny. I'm sure they'll understand. Hopefully you got a good reaction from them when you held the puppy up. Next time you can jerk off at work too, just pretend petting your dog and be funny, but plot twist actually doing it. One of my colleagues has a dog with the same name as the president of my workplace. We were all in a big Zoom meeting, and right as the president started talking the dog was barking and my colleague shouted, "Shut up, president's name /." How were you? You don't bet your dick? I read the title and just knew how the story would turn out. Now proclaim myself an elite Redditor. One of us, one of us, one of us. I volunteer at a no-kill shelter. We ran out of animals for adoption months ago, and any that get turned in get adopted as soon as we settle them down. I am really fearful that the other side of the mountain will be terrible as people return to their old lives and have to dump the dog. If you adopted an animal to help you cope with the pandemic, please give thought now on how you can carry on and coexist with your pet when this mess finally ends. Believe it or not, they do sense what is going on, they do have feelings, and they trust you. Be responsible to them, please. Let me say I really appreciate shelter workers. We have a few rescues at our house as well. This dog joins several others and a whole menagerie of other pets that we keep happy and healthy in the house. The timing lined up for us with the stay-at-home orders and everything, but the dog was really the culmination of a year-long mission by my son to get a puppy. I exaggerated the whole not ready for when we go back thing for comedic effect, but we're well versed on pet care and ownership, and there is zero risk of us giving him up, especially since my wife has essentially been given the clear to basically never have to go back to physical work.